Hey everybody, this is John Garland back with Story Time. I've got a pretty interesting selection, I think, at least for those of us that live in Arkansas. This is out of my book, The Treasury of the Familiar. You can't really see it, but it's a real old book. I've had it for years. And this is the story of the Arkansas traveler. Now the prelude to this says that this particular writing is intended to represent an Eastern man's experience among the inhabitants of Arkansas, showing their hospitality and the mode of obtaining that hospitality. This was back in the days when railroads and stage lines were limited. Alright, here we go. One evening at dusk, the Easterner, traveling afoot, comes to a small log house 15 or 20 yards back from the road. In the doorway is a man playing a violin. The tune is the Arkansas Traveler, is the most popular in that region. The man in the cabin doorway keeps repeating the first part of the tune over and over again, as he could not play the second part. All the while it is raining, and the Easterner is anxious to obtain shelter. The house is covered with clapboards. The rain is leaking into every part of it. The old man's daughter, Sarah, appears to be getting supper ready, while a small boy sets the table, and the old lady sits in the doorway admiring the tune. The stranger stops in the road before the cabin and says, "How do you do?" The old man merely glances at him and, continuing to play, replies, "I do as I please." The stranger says, "How long have you been living here?" The old man, "Do you see that mountain there? Well, that was there when I come here." The stranger, "Can I stay here tonight?" The old man, "No, you can't stay here." The stranger says, "How long will it take me to get to the next tavern?" The old man says, "Well, you'll not get there at all if you stand there fooling with me all night." And he keeps playing his song. The stranger says, "Well, how far do you call it to the next tavern?" The old man, "I reckon it's upwards of some distance." The stranger, "I am very dry. Do you keep any spirits in your house?" The old man says, "You think my house is haunted? They say there's plenty down in the graveyard." The stranger says, "How do they cross the river ahead?" The old man, "The ducks all swim across it." He keeps on playing. The stranger says, "How far is it to the fork of the road?" The old man, "I've been living here nigh on 20 years. Ain't no road forked yet." The stranger says, "Give me some satisfaction, if you please, sir. Where does the road go?" Old man, "Well, it ain't moved a step since I moved here." The stranger, "Why don't you cover your house?" I'm sorry. That was bound to happen. "Why don't you cover your house?" Old man, "'Cause it's raining." Stranger, "Then why don't you cover it when it's not raining?" Old man, "'Cause it don't leak when it ain't raining." Stranger, "Why don't you play the second Why don't you play the second part of that tune?" Old man, "If you're a better player than I am, you can play it yourself. I'll bring the fiddle out to you. I don't want you in here." Old man hands him the fiddle, and the stranger plays the second part of the tune. Old man, "Get over the fence and come in here and sit down. I didn't know you could play. You can board here if you want to. Kick that dog off that stool and sit down and play it over. I want to hear it again." The stranger plays the second part of the tune. Old man, "Our supper's ready now. Won't you have some with us?" Stranger says, "If you please." Old man, "What'll you take, tea or coffee?" Stranger, "A cup of tea, if you please." Old man, "Sal, get the grubbing hoe and go dig some sassafras, quick." The old man plays the first part of the Arkansas Traveler tune again. The stranger says to the little boy, "Bub, give me a knife and fork, if you please." The boy, "We ain't got no knives or forks, sir." And the stranger says, Didn't give me a spoon. Boy, we ain't got no spoons neither. Stranger, well then, how do you do? The boy, tolerable, thank you. How do you do, sir? Old man plays the first part of the tune again. At this point, the stranger, finding such poor accommodations, departs for the next tavern. The end.